How does a small landlocked country with limited resources rise fast enough to earn comparisons to one of the world's most successful nations? From clean cities to high-tech systems, from strict governance to global partnerships, something unusual is happening here. Rwanda's story is not luck. It is built on bold choices, strict planning, and a vision few expected to work this well so quickly.
Rwanda is often reduced to headlines about its past, but today a different story is being built in Kigali. This video looks at real projects inspired by Singapore, not slogans. From Kigali Green City to Bugesera International Airport and Kigali Innovation City, the country is trying to build a cleaner, better connected economy driven by skilled people. It also asks a harder question. Can careful planning, strong policy, and real investment in people change what a small landlocked country can become? What you're about to watch is the evidence. By 2026, the transformation of Rwanda has reached a point where the comparison to Singapore is no longer a mere aspiration, but a visible reality. The small, landlocked nation in East Africa has adopted a specific strategy centered on replicating the urban planning and economic frameworks that allowed Singapore to rise from a resource-poor island to a global financial powerhouse. This approach has moved beyond diplomatic talk. Singaporean officials, including Minister of State Alvin Tan, have officially recognized Rwanda's development path, solidifying its reputation as the Singapore of Africa.
Singapore and Rwanda respect and admire each other. Rwanda is sometimes referred to as the Singapore of Africa.
What is this strategy? Rwanda's growth has not been by chance. It comes from a clear decision to learn from the Asian tiger model, especially from Singapore. Like Singapore, Rwanda accepts that it does not have large natural resources, so it has made people its main asset. Paul Kagame often says that a country must first build the skills of its people before it can build advanced technology. This thinking is close to how Singapore was shaped under Lee Kuan Yew, where education and training were treated as a national priority. That link became more serious when Lee Hsien Loong chose Rwanda for his first official visit to Africa, a move that pointed to direct learning and cooperation that is now visible in Rwanda's public systems and infrastructure.
And our governments have worked very well together in areas such as sustainability, fintech, technical cooperation, trade, tourism, and other areas.
Sustainable urban development. The clearest sign of this shift is the Kigali Green City project. It is planned as a large, climate-ready district on about 600 hectares at Kenya Hill, with space for roughly 200,000 people and around 30,000 homes. The idea is simple: build dense, well-planned neighborhoods, similar to places such as Tenga Forest Town in Singapore. The master plan was prepared by Sabana Jurong, and the aim is a low-carbon city where rooftops carry solar panels and water systems cut overall use by about 20%. This is not just a concept on paper. The pilot phase received international backing in late 2024, and the first 2,000 homes are expected to be completed by 2029. Alongside this wide, city-level plan is a more vertical statement, the Kigali Green Complex. The 29-story tower is designed to meet LEED Gold standards and to stay cool through natural airflow, reducing the need for air conditioning. Its shape is meant to manage wind and support on-site renewable energy. For a real, already built example of this direction, Vision City Kigali shows what this style looks like in practice, with modern apartments and villas laid out in a clean, well-ordered estate. Global connectivity and the high-end tourism strategy. Rwanda is landlocked, so getting goods and people in and out can be harder than for coastal countries. To fix that, the government is building what will be the country's biggest infrastructure project ever, the Kigali International Airport. At nearly $2 billion, it is meant to become a major air hub in East Africa, able to handle around 14 million passengers a year by 2032. Qatar Airways has taken a 60% stake in the project, helping give Rwanda links to the wider world, similar to how Singapore Changi Airport connects Singapore globally. The airport is part of Rwanda's push to attract high-value, low-volume visitors instead of mass tourism. Gorilla trekking permits in Rwanda are priced at $1,500, higher than in nearby countries, and tourism revenue reached $647 million in 2024, showing the approach is paying off. Rwanda also works with global sports brands like Arsenal, Paris Saint-Germain, and Los Angeles Clippers to promote the country internationally. technological innovation and the education foundation. Rwanda's push to build a real tech economy is focused on Kigali Innovation City, a new district being developed next to the Special Economic Zone in Masoro.
Rwanda aspired to become a leading ICT hub in Africa by establishing a conducive, innovative ecosystem.
The aim is straightforward: create one place where universities, companies, and startups can grow digital products and export them. The idea follows the same people-first path used by Singapore, with a strong focus on high-level training. Carnegie Mellon University runs its first and only African campus there, alongside African Leadership University and the African Institute for Mathematical Sciences. Together, they form the main talent base that Rwanda is using to attract foreign tech investment. The project is expected to support about 50,000 jobs and generate around $150 million a year in tech exports. Rwanda has already shown that it is willing to move early when it comes to new technology. It became the first country to run a nationwide medical drone delivery system with Zipline, and it has also carried out test flights for passenger drones.
Today, for the first time in Africa, a self-flying air taxi will take to the skies.
What matters here is not only the technology itself, but how quickly the country creates rules that allow it to be used in real life. That speed has made Rwanda attractive to companies that want a place where new ideas can be tested and deployed without years of delay. Energy transformation, converting hazards into power. One of the clearest examples of how Rwanda thinks differently about development is its energy plan around Lake Kivu. The lake holds an estimated 55 billion cubic meters of dissolved methane gas, which is dangerous because a sudden gas release, known as a limnic eruption, could be deadly for nearby communities. Instead of leaving that risk untouched, Rwanda is using it to generate power through projects such as Kivu Watt and Shima Power Lake Kivu. Together, these plants supply roughly 30% of Rwanda's peak electricity capacity. The next step is to turn part of that gas into compressed natural gas for vehicles to reduce diesel and petrol use. The plan, valued at about $560 million, is also meant to support future power exports to neighbors like Burundi and the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Overcoming geography with aerial transport. Because Kigali is built on steep hills, widening roads is slow and very costly. So the city is testing a different idea: moving people above the streets. Rwanda is developing an urban cable car system, and the first phase has already received about $100 million in approval from the African Development Bank. The plan is to move up to 50,000 passengers a day across the busiest parts of the city. The project is being handled by the same team behind the Sentosa Island Cableway in Singapore. If everything stays on schedule, the 9 planned routes should start forming a real part of Kigali's public transport network by 2028. Economic context and public expenditure. Some people argue that Rwanda, still a developing country, should not spend on big, high-profile projects. But reports from groups like the International Monetary Fund, one especially titled "Spending Smarter to Boost Growth," show that these investments are planned carefully and spent wisely. In its October 2025 report, the IMF highlighted Rwanda as one of the few countries that has made real gains in getting more value out of public spending. The fact that Rwanda has secured major backing from partners such as Qatar Airways and the African Development Bank also shows that others trust how it manages large projects. Because of this transparent approach, what some call prestige projects are seen by the government and many partners as targeted investments, not just ways to attract attention.
The real question isn't just how Rwanda is growing, but whether this model can actually last and be copied elsewhere.
Through projects such as Kigali Green City, Bugesera International Airport, and Kigali Innovation City, Rwanda is trying to build an economy that is clean, well-connected, and driven by skilled people. By putting education first, investing heavily in technology, building strong transport links, and making the most of what it already has, the country is showing that even with difficult geography and a hard past, a different future is still possible.